So the new urgent quest Armada of Annihilation Interception came out yesterday. Out of all the urgent quests in the game, I think this is my favorite so far. And I think one of my favorite things about this urgent quest is the way that they have it split up between the 3 sectors. During the first sector, your team arrives on a small platform, and you're tasked with killing the enemies as fast as you can until you get the small bosses to appear. While you're fighting these enemies, you'll notice that some of them have these weak points that look like red prisms. Some of these prisms will actually be hidden underneath breakable parts on the enemies. Now, there are actually 2 versions of each sector. For the first sector, you're going to have a version that only has you fighting on the one platform and you're just going to be killing enemies and then you kill the bosses at the end. The second version of that, it's going to tell you that you have to rescue a ship, basically going to be the same thing as the other one, except this time you'll have to move onto a second platform halfway through, fight all the enemies there, and then kill the boss like normal. Both versions of the second sector are going to have you fighting enemies on the enemy ship. This sector takes a bit longer than the first sector because there's a lot more enemies and the map is bigger. While you're fighting enemies in Sector 2, there will be turrets on the sides of the ship that you can kill for more points. Sector 3 is where things start to get different. This is going to require you to use an AIS unit. For the first version of Sector 3, you will be in the AIS unit the whole time. This will task you with fighting off enemies as you're trying to destroy these giant ships. The bridge of the ships will actually have a shield on them, and after you kill enough enemies and destroy enough parts on the ship, the shield will come down and you can destroy the bridge. After you destroy the bridge, that destroys the whole ship. After you destroy all the ships, you will enter the boss fight portion of the sector. At the beginning of the fight, the boss will start out with a shield around him. This will prevent you from really doing any damage with ranged attacks. There should be a breakable part on the outer rim of the shield. After you destroy this part, the shield will go down and you can fight the boss normally. The boss will occasionally send out these homing red lasers at you. Whenever you see this, you want to use your shield to catch as many of the lasers as you can, and then let go of the shield to do massive damage to the boss. This actually does a substantial amount of damage, so I would recommend actually doing this instead of just dodging all of the lasers. The boss's limbs will start to break apart as he gets low on health, and then after you kill him, you'll be able to collect your loot based on all the points you got during the previous sectors. The second version of Sector 3 will have portions where you're in the AIS unit, and also portions where you're on foot. And basically during this boss fight, you just want to make sure that you're destroying all of the weak points, because in order to advance the fight, you will have to destroy all these parts. We actually have 3 titles related to the total amount of points that you earn during this urgent quest. The first title requires you to get 260,000 points, the second title requires you to get 350,000 points, and then the third title requires you to get 420,000 points. In order to get enough points to receive these titles, you will need to be able to complete the sectors fast enough to be able to do them multiple times. In order to get 420,000 points, you will actually need to complete Sector 1 3 times, Sector 2 2 times, and then the boss battle 1 time. Due to the maximum amount of points that you can earn during these sectors, it's not possible to get 420,000 unless you do them this many times. Just keep in mind that even if you do complete the first and second sectors 5 times total, this won't guarantee that you will get the 420,000 points. You will still have to get as many points as you can during these sectors, and there's a different maximum point limit to each version of the sector. In order to complete the sectors as fast as you can, you're obviously going to want to make sure you have a team with correct equipment, but you also want to make sure that everyone is focusing on the weak points of the bigger enemies in order to kill them as fast as you can. You'll also want to take note that up until now, most people have been using light elements on their weapons. However, the new enemy type that we are fighting is actually weak to dark. We do still have to fight foul spawn during this mission, so I would suggest bringing both a dark weapon and a light weapon. Also, while you are doing Sector 1, you'll notice that there are these fighters that keep on flying by and attacking you. In order to get more points during Sector 1, you can destroy these enemies, but also keep in mind if you focus too much on this could potentially slow you down. However, if you are able to keep up the speed while taking these down, this could very well ensure that you get the 420,000 points that you need. Before you actually go on the urgent quest, you're going to want to make sure that you grab as many of the collection file weapons as you can, especially if you're planning on making a liberate weapon. You're going to need a lot of materials in order to make the liberate weapon, and these materials will come from breaking down 15 and 14 star weapons. So since I'm working on the soaring blades, I'm going to be working on the collection folders for the 15 star melee weapons. This is currently the fastest way to get these materials, and you want to make sure you're doing them as much as you can during this urgent quest. Also, if you didn't notice, they actually added a practice quest for the new AIS unit that we have to pilot during Sector 3. If you're having trouble with Sector 3, you may want to check this out. Other than that, that's all I have to say about the urgent quest at the moment, so I hope this was informative enough to help you do better during the urgent quest and earn more points. And if you liked the video, please just leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.